Okay, hello. I would like to introduce you at my presentation of my Google Summer of Code project. My name is Jiri Hnidek, but you can call me Jiri. I'm PhD student at Technical University of Liberec at Department of Applied Informatics. I teach computer graphics, network technologies, and Blender. My motivation for integration of Wars to Blender is that it is my dissertation work. Name of my dissertation work is Distributed Graphical Application. And Wars is also new cool technology. It is also some bounty of Blender Foundation. I should say something about history. Wars is presented at the 4th Blend conference, but it is the first Blender conference where you can see implementation of Wars in Blender. But I wasn't the first guy who did attempt of implementation of Wars to Blender. Nathan Lethbury did first implementation of Wars to Blender probably 1 year ago, but it was really base or proof of concept. It was a good inspiration for me, but I had to rewrite it from the scratch. What is new functionality of Wars Blender and what benefit will it have to users? Users will be able to use Blender as usual, but they will be able to share their data with other users. Not only with users using Blender, but also with users using some other 3D application, for example, Maya or 3D Studio Max. Versus can also work as repository for 3D data or some images or text. You can also connect with some different programs running at your computer, for example, with GIMP or Connector or Pulp Engine. In the future, you will probably have no need to store your data in files. You will come to your computer, you will start Blender, you will connect to Wars server, and then you will find all your data. I would like to also mention Orange project because Wars Blender could be great benefit for project like this. But it isn't useful for them right now because Wars Blender is in a really early state of development. But Tom promised that they will do some experiments, and I still wait for some feedback. I will show you some demonstration of Wars Blender now. At the first time, you have to start Wars server somewhere. It can be on your own computer. You have Wars. I will demonstrate Wars Blender running at my laptop because we have only one data operator. Okay, at the first time you have to connect to Verse Blender. You can connect to localhost, or you can connect to some other Verse server. But I will connect to localhost. In second Blender 2. And when you are connected to our server, you can see in Outliner a new item. Localhost is name of session with server. And you can see one object node in Outliner. It is avatar of Blender connected to Verse server. Yes, the second probably. Yeah. When I am connected to Verse server, I can push some data to Verse server. You can do it simply with mesh, push to Verse server, and you can see that Blender created one object node and one geometry node at Verse server, and you can connect to data in second Verse Blender clicking with right mouse button at object node, not geometry node, but on object node. And voila, we can see monkey in the second Verse Blender. Now when I move with this vertex, I can see changes in real time in the first Verse Blender. You can see these changes also when object in first Verse Blender is in object node. You can share object transformation like moving, rotating, or scaling. Okay, is it enough? It's hard because I have to keep my microphone on my head. When I will duplicate connected object node, Shift D, then it is normal object node, Blender object. You can see that connected Blender object has green object center. It isn't. It's green. And not connected is purple, as usual. once again.
If you now edit there,
Yeah.
only first monkey will change, right?
Right.
But if you make a linked duplicate with Alt D,
Yeah, I will show it.
okay.
Oh, I will do Alt deduplication. Works. I will say it, yeah? Okay. Primary target of my implementation was proving the concept of vars in Blender. I had to prove that it works. You can push and pop mesh data from vars server, as you was able to see. You can share mesh at vars server in real time. And why did I choose mesh? Because it's widely used in Blender and other 3D applications like Maya and 3D Studio Max. For example, Camilla developed a Verse plugin for Maya, and it is really cool to see that you can share your data with some other application. And second important thing is that it is quite good supported in Vars protocol, and it is tested. Current state of implementation. You can also use some non-destructive modifiers, which are new in Blender 2.4, and you can also share smoothness of faces, and you can also rename of object nodes. You can do many things like sharing of textures or sharing of bones, armatures, curves, and so on. Backs. I hope that you will be able to try to use Vars Blender here. It should be installed on 4 computers in this room, and you should know about some bugs. For example, when you do rendering of some big scene with many objects, and this rendering is very long, then connection could be destroyed by Vars server because connection timed out. What has happened? Because everything in Blender is computed in one loop, and when this loop is stopped by rendering or some computation, then Blender doesn't send keep alive packets to Vars server, and Vars server will destroy this connection. I propose some solution, and it is to rewrite Blender to use more threads, but it is discussion for developer session, Vars developer session, which will start in 4:00 p.m. Right? Yeah. You can find some problems when you do undo in edit mode. It works, but it is experimental. And next warning, undo doesn't work in object mode. You can have some problem when you try to reconnect to VARS server, and some modifiers, for example, subserve, don't work correctly in object mode. What I would like to implement in next few months, it is sharing of vertex color, sharing of vertex groups, vertex weight, UV mapping, and probably sharing of textures. I got many requests to implement renaming of geometry nodes. Also, implementing of undo for objects should be real easy to implement. My work is hard sometimes because there are some gaps in VARS specification. For example, it doesn't support edges, SQL, and there are no user access permissions. It means that everybody can connect to VARS server, everybody can subscribe to your data, and everybody can destroy your data. When somebody destroy object node, then nothing will happen with your Blender object. You will still have your data, but everybody can delete your vertices. VARS doesn't support bounds too good. It doesn't have any degree of freedom, no angel limits, no inverse kinematics, and it doesn't support constraints which are widely used in some animations. Implementation. I will talk more about implementation of VARS to Blender at VARS developer session afternoon. You all are welcome. There are many links at VARS Blender at our wiki, but it doesn't work now. It is converted to MediaWiki, but I hope that you will be able to find it with Google. I converted my documentation of VARS Blender to CMS typo 3. I did it yesterday. Yeah. Tony, I think that you should do it. No, could do it. Yeah. No question, please. Okay. Any questions? What happens?
It's also for the recording.
Okay, hi to all. You have 3 or 4 clients or N clients connected to the VARS server, and the people are working all on the same object. Now, let's say they're all in mesh mode, in editing mode, and they all move vertices. What happens? Yeah. No, I'll come.
As I said, there are no user access permissions, so No, it doesn't work. Trust me. Then probably you will see some flickering. Yeah. It's yeah, I did some tests. For example, I was connected to some web server running in Sweden when I was in Czech Republic, and it worked very good. It was normal ADSL connection from my home. Yeah. When you change. I can show it when I will minimize this client. You can see many debug information at my console, and when I move vertex, it sends only position of this vertex. Yes, you can subscribe to data and share it with Maya application.
What happens if I multiply urgency on one object? Now, if you take, let's say you take the monkey head and you extrude it.
Yeah, I can show it. I'm sorry, it was crushed. I will do some extrusion of some face. I can do, for example, loop cut. It isn't visible in first client. You can work in with mesh as usual. Every tool is supported, but I should say that, for example, merge tool doesn't work correctly. Oops. Yeah. Everything should be supported, yes. Yo. I will subdivide every face. The biggest bandwidth is my console, because there is many debugging output. Sorry. Yes, Yes. When you want to find some bug, then it can help you very much.